What's up, Wrestle Scope family? Before we dive into today's absolute bombshell, I need you to brace yourselves because what went down on Raw is going to divide this entire wrestling community down the middle. And I'm warning you right now, by the end of this video, you're either going to be celebrating in the comments or you're going to be furious. So hit that like button, drop a comment with your real thoughts, and let's get into the most controversial return in WWE history. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. Did WWE just disrespect Paul Heyman's entire legacy? Did they just spit in the face of everything the Tribal Chief era stood for? Because that's exactly what happened when Roman Reigns walked down that ramp on Monday Night Raw with Rikishi. Yes, you heard that right, Rikishi as his new Wiseman. Paul Heyman, the greatest advocate in sports entertainment history, the man who stood by Roman through everything, the boos, the cheers, the bloodline implosion, has been replaced by a man who hasn't been relevant in over 2 decades. And Triple H expects us to just accept this? To just sit back and pretend this makes any sense? I've got wrestling fans on Twitter already saying this is fresh and unexpected. Fresh? This isn't fresh, this is desperate. This is WWE scrambling to capitalize on nostalgia instead of building something organic. And you know what the worst part is? Some of you are actually defending this decision. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down exactly what happened, why this might be the biggest mistake in Roman's career, or, and hear me out, why this could actually be the most genius move WWE has made in years. But I'm warning you, the truth might make you uncomfortable. Monday Night Raw opened with the entire WWE universe on the edge of their seats. We hadn't seen Roman since his shocking loss to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. Well, that's the storyline we're going with. And the question on everyone's mind was simple. Who is Roman Reigns without the Tribal Chief persona? Who is he without Paul Heyman whispering strategies in his ear? The lights went out. That iconic music hit. And when Roman Reigns stepped through that curtain, the place erupted. But something was different. The energy was different. Roman wasn't walking with that same arrogance, that same untouchable aura that carried him through his 1,316-day title reign. And then he appeared. Rikishi, the Samoan legend, the WWE Hall of Famer, Roman's real-life uncle and a cornerstone of the Inoue dynasty, walked out behind Roman, dressed in an immaculate suit, carrying himself with the gravitas of someone who knows the pressure of that family legacy. The camera panned to Roman's face, and for the first time in years, we saw something we haven't seen since his Shield days, vulnerability mixed with determination. This wasn't the Tribal Chief, this was Roman Reigns 2.0, and Rikishi was the architect of this new era. But here's where it gets interesting, and here's where I need you to pay attention, because WWE is playing 4D chess, and most of you are still playing checkers. Let's address the elephant in the room, Paul Heyman's absence. Where is the special counsel? Where is the man who literally created the Tribal Chief character? According to backstage reports, and take these with a grain of salt because WWE loves to work us, Paul Heyman is currently aligned with Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline faction. That's right, while Roman was gone, Solo took over. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa have formed the most dangerous faction in WWE right now, and Paul Heyman, ever the opportunist, sided with power over loyalty. Now, casual fans are calling this a betrayal. They're saying Paul stabbed Roman in the back. But let me tell you something that might blow your mind. Paul Heyman didn't betray Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns failed Paul Heyman. Think about it. Paul gave Roman everything. The promos, the presentation, the mystique, the championship legacy. And what did Roman do? He lost. He lost the titles. He lost his grip on the family. He lost control. So why wouldn't Paul align himself with the next generation of dominance? This is why Rikishi's entrance is so significant, and this is why some of you are missing the point entirely. Rikishi isn't just a nostalgia act. Rikishi represents something Paul Heyman could never give Roman: family accountability. Paul Heyman is a business associate. He's a hired gun, a mercenary with a microphone. But Rikishi is blood. He's the elder statesman of the Inoue dynasty. He's the man who can look Roman in the eye and say, "You disrespected this family, and now we're going to rebuild it the right way." After the initial shock wore off, Rikishi took the microphone, and what he said sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. He didn't cut a typical "I'm back" promo. He didn't pander to the crowd with nostalgia spots about the Attitude Era or doing the Sting face. No. Rikishi looked directly into the camera and said, "For too long, this family has been divided by ego.
Solo thinks he's the tribal chief. Roman thinks he deserves that position back, but neither of you understand what that title really means. Being the tribal chief isn't about championship belts. It's not about who has the loudest voice or the biggest entrance. It's about honor. It's about respect. And it's about putting this family above everything else. The arena went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Roman's face told the entire story. This wasn't a man being supported. This was a man being challenged by someone who actually has the authority to do so. Rikishi continued, Roman, I love you like a son, but you've lost your way. Paul Heyman built you into a champion, but he also built you into a tyrant. He made you believe that power comes from fear, but I'm here to show you that true power comes from family. And if you want to reclaim your throne, you're going to do it the right way, with the values that your grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia, instilled in this bloodline. Can we talk about how powerful that was? This wasn't just a promo, this was a declaration. Rikishi just positioned himself not as a manager, not as an advocate, but as a mentor. He's the spiritual guide that Roman needs to evolve from tribe and chief to something even greater. Now let's talk about the implications, because WWE has just set up the most explosive storyline heading into WrestleMania season. You've got 3 factions within the Bloodline saga. Faction 1, Roman Reigns and Rikishi, the redemption arc, the old guard trying to reclaim honor through traditional values. Faction 2, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman, the new empire, the ruthless generation that believes the old ways are weak. Faction 3, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, the brothers caught in the middle, forced to choose between family loyalty and personal integrity. And here's the genius part that some of you still aren't seeing. WWE has created a storyline where every perspective is valid. Solo isn't wrong for wanting to lead, Roman isn't wrong for wanting his position back, the Usos aren't wrong for wanting to be their own men, and Rikishi isn't wrong for demanding the family to adhere to traditional values. This is Shakespearean. This is Game of Thrones in the wrestling ring. And the best part, there's no clear hero or villain. Everyone is the protagonist of their own story, and that's what makes this must-watch television.
Now, I know there's a section of the audience, and you know who you are, that's going to say, this is ridiculous. Rikishi is 58 years old. He can't be a Wiseman. This is just WWE recycling old stars because they can't create new ones. And to those people, I have one question. Did you have this same energy when Paul Heyman, who's 59 years old, was managing Roman Reigns? Or is it only a problem when it's not your favorite old school talent? The truth is that WWE is doing something brilliant here. They're acknowledging that the Bloodline story isn't just about Roman Reigns. It's about the Anoa'i dynasty, a family that has given us The Rock, Yokozuna, Umaga, the Usos, Naomi, Nia Jax, and countless others. By bringing in Rikishi, WWE is saying, this story is bigger than any individual performer. This is about legacy. And if you can't appreciate that, if you can't see the layers that are being built here, then maybe, just maybe, you're not actually a fan of storytelling. Maybe you just want the same predictable booking that AEW has been serving up for the past 3 years. I said what I said. Comment section is right there. So here's my final take, Wrestle Scope family, and I want you to really think about this before you react. Roman Reigns returning with Rikishi as his wise man is either the best decision WWE has made in the last 5 years, or it's a complete disaster that will derail the greatest faction story in modern wrestling history. There's no in-between, and that's why you need to watch what happens next. That's why you need to be part of this conversation, because in 6 months, we're going to look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point, for better or worse. Now, I want to know what you think. Are you Team Roman and Rikishi? Are you Team Solo and the new Bloodline? Or are you Team WWE has lost their minds and I'm done with this product? Drop your honest opinion in the comments right now. Don't hold back. This is a safe space for all wrestling opinions, even the terrible ones. If you're new to Wrestle Scope, smash that subscribe button because we're covering every twist, every turn, and every controversial moment in wrestling. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. And if you made it this far, drop a "acknowledge me" in the comments so I know you watched the whole video. Let's get this video to 10,000 likes and show WWE that the Wrestle Scope family is the most passionate wrestling community on YouTube. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, in wrestling, nothing is ever what it seems. This is Wrestle Scope, and I'm out.